Hi, friends. I'm Scott. This is What a Weird Week. Every Friday, we do a weird news of the week top 10 countdown, so you get the 10 weirdest news stories from the past 7 days or so. We do a podcast, a blog, and a YouTube video. And we never edit anything, so all of that is staying in.
Hi, everybody. It's weird.
This is like crazy being here.
Really weird tales.
Well, I got a great show for you today with some wonderful weird stuff.
Thanks for checking out the program featuring this week dog nannies, ruined experiments, and a ban on suitcases. Season 4, Episode 40. Here we go.
10.
From Fox 2 KTBU, Billionaires offering dog nanny job with $127,000 a year salary had to pull their ad after too many applications. This is an American family living in the United Kingdom. They advertised for a live-in dog nanny at $127,000 a year. We don't know too much about the people who want the dog nanny. They advertised through an agency. They did a job post, and word got around quickly, and they got over 2,000 applications, so they had to take the ad down. They were swamped. I mean, people want those dog nanny jobs at over $100,000 a year. Job description, you had to be a live-in dog nanny. Attention to detail is important. The owners have 2 dogs, by the way. You have to feed and groom the pooches, arrange for vet appointments, make sure the pooches get their shots and their checkups, that sort of thing. But you're also in charge of walking the dog or making sure they get some sort of physical stimulation and mental stimulation. You know, like dog school or something. I'll tell you what, it sounds like a pretty great job, and I have asthma. I'm not supposed to be around the pooches, but for $127,000, I would manage. I would stock up on blue inhalers, and we would get the job done. Please consider me for the job. Thank you.
9.
The results are in. Maury Povich is the father of a great business venture. So Maury announced his at-home paternity test kit this week. Maybe you saw it on your favorite newscast. It got picked up a lot. He retired from his talk show, Maury. That is the show which made the phrase, "the results are in," quite famous. And now Maury is throwing in with a company offering at-home paternity tests. Maury says these at-home paternity tests can unite families after a long period of time. And that is true. I'm not going to say you're not telling the truth, Maury, but I've seen your show, buddy. Not that many families were united. As I recall, many families were blow-uptuated as a result of the paternity test. Blow-uptuated! Company behind these tests is the same company that did testing for the Maury show. They say they have a 99.9% accuracy rate. Not sure how much these at-home tests are going to cost. To be continued. And are you the father? To be continued.
8.
From NDTV, skilled U.S. cow performs 10 tricks in a minute to set world record. Cow name is Ghost. I was very excited for this. I'm happy for Ghost the cow and Ghost's owner. I think stories like this are inspiring, and sometimes, some days, you need a story like this, like a lousy stinking Monday or some other day that has crushed your spirits. But then, when you look at the tricks, I don't know what it takes to train a cow, and Megan seems like a nice lady. She's worked a long time with Ghost the cow, but when you hear that Ghost the cow can do tricks, I can't help it. I'm thinking about maybe hanging from a trapeze. I don't know. I'm a city slicker, by the way, so I don't know cows so much. I guess let me run down the list of the top 10 tricks. You tell me. Here are the top 10 tricks that Ghost did. Nod, kiss, bell touch, fist bump or leg lift, stand on a pedestal, that was 2 legs on a little platform, bow, spin, self-roping, which that sounded so great. I'll link to the video. You be the judge. Also, come when called and stay. Those were the tricks. So Ghost the cow can stay, like stand. Like you say, hey, Ghost, and Ghost doesn't move, and that's one of the tricks. So I hate to sound disgruntled. I didn't buy a ticket to watch this or anything, so you know what? I'm going to walk it back a bit. Good for you, Ghost. It's a Guinness World Record, for crying out loud. Would have liked to see trapeze in there. Maybe next year.
7.
Number 7 is a tie. We have a tie for 7th place this week. 2 different stories. They're not weird news so much as just weird articles that got trending this past week. First one from Mental Floss is about, maybe you saw this headline, why you should never jump into water to avoid a bee attack. According to the expert, one of the things that happens is you are panicked, you come up for air, and you end up inhaling bees, and they sting you from the inside. Stung internally. Good Lord. And I didn't know this either. If you jump into water to avoid a bee attack, like a cartoon, you always see it on the cartoons, the bees in real life will wait for hours. The bees will win that standoff. They will wait you out. If you click shownotes.page, you can find our show notes and read that article in full. The other article, again, it's not a news item. It's just a weird article, and it got trending this past week from USA Today. That publication taught me what sleep divorce is. Do you know what sleep divorce is? It doesn't sound good. It sounds like your partner wants to split, but they also want to do it while they're soundly asleep. They can't be bothered to wake up for the divorce. They want a sleep divorce. No, it's just couples who sleep separately. And the article, USA Today, gets into why, do people actually sleep better alone? And you go through this article, and it's like, oh yeah, sleeping alone is so good for you. And you can still have a nice, healthy, happy relationship. Just you have a sleep divorce. And don't sleep together. When it's time for sleeping, you have your own place to sleep. It goes on like that for about 3/4 of the article, and I'm like, oh boy, do I have to do a sleep divorce now? Is this something I have to try? Oh, it's going to save my life or something. And then at the very end, they're like, but also there are studies that show if you sleep with your spouse, you're much healthier. So what? What did you do to me, USA Today? You put me through it. You put me through it.
6.
Oh, I do want to say thank you for tuning in via Funhouse Radio. If you're streaming Funhouse Radio and hearing this, thanks for that. Funhouse Radio, wherever you stream radio. And if you want the podcast version, you can type "What a Weird Week" into your favorite podcast provider. All right, number 6, free smartwatches. A warning. The headline from PC Magazine is, did you receive a free smartwatch in the mail? Do not turn it on. Members of the U.S. military have been receiving unsolicited smartwatches in the mail. If that's you, do not turn it on. Defense News reports that the Department of Army Criminal Investigation, the CID, says these free gifts are malicious. Seems like one of the oldest tricks in the book. Wouldn't you be tempted? Like, maybe I deserve this because I deserve nice things and somebody knew I was special. They sent me this smartwatch. That's how I would be. I'm an easy mark, I think. I'm just going to turn this on. I'm just going to try it out. I wonder if it plays games. Whatever. The temptation is too great. You turn that thing on and then it steals all your information. Steals all the vitals. Defense secrets. In my case, they'd be crunching that data and be like, fellow seems extremely sedentary. We thought maybe he wasn't wearing the watch. Barely registered movement.
5.
Pepsi Ketchup made headlines this week. Pepsi-infused ketchup. It's Pepsi and ketchup together at last. Is it just a publicity stunt? Oh, yes. Oh, I'm pretty sure it is. Available for a limited time, Pepsi Ketchup, which they're calling Cola Chup. Cola and the chup from ketchup. Cola Chup. And I don't know about that name, you guys. Usually I'm like, hey, you're hardworking promotions department people. You came up with a name. You're sitting around the table trying to come up with some sort of promotion to cut through the noise and win the cola war. And you came up with Cola Chup. I just don't. I'm sorry, you guys. Pepsup. Why not Pepsup? Pepsup. Now, I've copyrighted that. You can have it for $1 million. Pepsi Ketchup was actually made with the help of the Culinary Institute of America, which, it's a fancy cooking school, renowned, prestigious. It's got Pepsi. It's got smoky tomato, paprika, cinnamon, stuff like that. It's supposed to be around for July 4th at some ballparks, but I'm pretty sure if it takes off, especially if they change the name to Pepsi, it's going to take off. And I bet you, if there's a market for it, you will see it around, don't you think?
4.
Number 4, the janitor who unplugged the freezer and ruined the experiment and now is part of a lawsuit. The janitor heard these alarms. You know those alarms, you guys. They can get on your nerves. I mean, it's not smooth jazz when those alarms go off, right? Janitor turned off the freezer, which ruined 20 years of research worth around $1 million. This happened a few years ago at a university in New York, but it's in the news now because lawsuit. It's not the janitor who's being sued. It's the cleaning company that the janitor worked for. University wants more than $1 million in damages. The fridge had cell cultures. They had to be kept cold. The alarm went off. This was the warning that the fridge was getting warmer. They were planning on getting the fridge fixed, but in the meantime, they put a lock around the outlet so you couldn't unplug the fridge. And then they put this sign on the fridge. This freezer is beeping as it is under repair. Please do not move or unplug it. No cleaning required in this area. Then they even went on in the sign to explain how to turn the alarm off if you want to mute the alarm. It seems to me, I'm just surmising, I'm not a legal expert there, but when you read the article, you get the impression the janitor thought maybe the fridge was shut off. He went to the circuit breaker because you can't unplug the fridge or whatever. He turned that circuit breaker off, but it seems as though he thought he was actually turning the breaker on. Anyway, it was a mistake. It ruined years of research, and here we are. Court case to be continued.
3.
The third weirdest story of the week is the war on Taco Tuesday. It continues. Taco John's has answered back. In case you missed it, we talked about this on episode 34 in May. I'll put a link in the show notes. This is an update. If you haven't been following, just to catch you up, a Wyoming-based restaurant chain named Taco John's currently has the federal trademark on the phrase Taco Tuesday. No one else can use it without permission. Not supposed to. Well, the national chain, Taco Bell, perhaps you've heard of them, they want the phrase to become free for everyone to use. Taco Bell filed a petition with the trademark people, and now this official response filing from Taco John's. It basically disagrees with Taco Bell. I'm paraphrasing a bit, but it's basically, we disagree with what Taco Bell said. According to the expert quoted by CNN, the next thing is discovery. Taco Bell will try to prove that hardly anybody associates Taco Tuesday with a particular restaurant. I mean, what if they surveyed you? What would you say? Taco Tuesday? That's every Tuesday at my house. Do I have to pay money now? Anyway, the experts say this discovery phase could take a couple of years. And in the meantime, and this was a surprise to me, we all have to stop eating tacos. There's a complete taco moratorium, a tacotorium. Just kidding. Wouldn't that be awful?
2.
2 is Rent the Barbie Dreamhouse. This story was all over. It's a publicity stunt to promote the Barbie movie. It got picked up by all the news agencies, so I feel it kind of deserves some sort of award. So let's place it here at number 2, the second weirdest story of the week. We had an episode last month about how the Barbie movie set used so much of a particular kind of pink paint that the paint company ran out. There's a bit more to that story, but it got a lot of press also. And now this stay at the Barbie Dreamhouse thing. The promo team is hitting it out of the park for the Barbie movie. Details on this. Beginning July 17th, you can request to book Barbie's Malibu Dreamhouse on Airbnb. You're going to pick 2 people who will win a free one-night stay for them and a guest at the oceanfront villa. One person gets July 21st. The other winner gets July 22nd. We'll put a link if you want to enter, find out more. Shownotes.page, or just check the show notes in your podcast thing. You know, your podcast thing. Honorable mention. We've got a couple honorable mentions this week. First one is, when in Rome, don't carve your girlfriend's name into ancient architecture. For sure, don't get video of it. This happened at the Roman Colosseum. There's video of a guy carving what they believe is Ivan plus Haley 23 on the wall. That is illegal and also makes people in Rome really, really mad. The latest on this is that Italian police say they have an ID on the guy and the lady in the video. They aren't releasing any names. They say it was a British tourist. If you want to know names, I'll put a link, because a lot of people are reporting who the suspect is, other news sources. This is the 4th time this year that something like this has happened. That's mind-boggling to me. If you were playing the mind-boggling drinking game, take a drink, because I said it. Every week I say it, you guys. Anyway, if you get caught doing this, 13,000 euro fine, up to $13,000, and up to 5 years in prison. Our second honorable mention. Are we going to have to start paying $70 for a bottle of Sriracha sauce? Sriracha sauce shortage, you guys. Prices are going crazy. In the neighborhood of $70 a bottle. Because there's been a chili crop failure, and one of the sauce's main producers is struggling to keep up with demand. So people are selling the sauce online for way too much. $70 for it's delicious Sriracha, but...
1.
All right, here comes the top weird story of the week. Croatian city bans noisy wheeled suitcases. A European city has imposed a ban on wheeled suitcases due to the excessive noise they produce when dragged across cobblestones. Violators face hefty fines of nearly $400, although carrying your luggage by hand or utilizing a fanny pack is permissible. The city, which is a popular tourist destination in Croatia, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce the name correctly, but we'll have a link in the show notes. They introduced this measure after locals voiced their frustration over the disturbance caused by tourism. We just had the story of the tourist who carved their name on an ancient wall. Come on, tourists. Here's what the city did, though. In an effort to educate travelers about local etiquette and avoid misunderstandings, they produced instructional videos highlighting do's and don'ts. They play these on cruises and on flights. What's on the video? Well, I'll paraphrase. Hey, don't walk your pet without a leash. Don't climb on our statues. Don't whip off your shirt and start strutting around town. And also, suitcases on cobblestones? No. Okay, that's it. That's that. Thanks for being here. Remember, shownotes.page if you want to get back to all the What a Weird Week stuff, even a link to our old-time answering machine. Got to do a little digging to find that. I appreciate your listening. The liking and the subscribing, also much appreciated. Happy Canada Day weekend for Canadian friends and friends in the USA. Hope you have a wonderful July the 4th.